There could be a new sheriff in town, and it might be you. Find out what it's all about. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning and happy Memorial Day. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Holiday Inn West on the Waterway. We're focused on the upcoming Citizens Police Academy, and we're visiting with its director, Sergeant Tommy Chestnut. I hope I can call you that, the director, or is there such a thing?
Well, more or less coordinator.
I should have asked you that before we started. The coordinator, Sergeant Tommy Chestnut. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to meet you.
Thanks so much, and happy Memorial Day.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure being here as well.
We're in here at 7 a.m. and so many things going on, of course, at the beach. The beach is packed right now. There's a lot of folks, a lot of motorcycles whizzing by now out here on 501.
Yeah, they should be leaving us after having a good weekend.
Oh, yeah. Golly. Were you working this weekend, Tom?
Yes, sir.
Do you mind if I call you Tommy?
Tommy is fine.
You go by Sergeant Chestnut, I guess, a good bit.
A lot of people do call me Sergeant Chestnut. There's a lot of my friends call me Sergeant, and I don't mind if they call me Tommy one bit.
Right.
Some of them stick with Tommy. Some of them stick with Sergeant.
Absolutely. Viewers can't see it, but right below the WT Chestnut there on your chest, it says since 1980.
That's correct. I started with the Myrtle Beach Police Department March 3rd, 1980.
27 years ago. That's amazing.
Yes, sir. It's been a fun career.
Absolutely. Had you always thought about law enforcement?
Actually, I have thought about it quite a bit. My dad before me worked with the Myrtle Beach Police Department. He retired in 1974. And I told myself, no, that's not for me. Mm-hmm. But I did like the idea of helping people, and then I got to thinking about it after talking with a couple of friends who were on the police department in 1980, and they talked me into putting my application in, and I was accepted.
Wow. So you said your father was on the Myrtle Beach Police Department?
Yeah. He retired as a lieutenant after 23 years of service.
So it'd be stupid of me to ask, where'd you grow up? That's right.
Right here in downtown Myrtle Beach.
Were you born in Myrtle Beach?
Well, actually, I'll say I was born and raised in Myrtle Beach, but I was actually born in Conway Hospital because Myrtle Beach was not big enough at that time to have a hospital.
Wow.
It was, I think, in the following year or the year after that Ocean View Memorial first opened.
Is that right? Right after your birth?
That's correct.
So you've seen a lot of change in the city, and
quite a bit of growth.
Yeah, I
and
hate
change.
to date you there in 50 years. You let it out when you said the.
I think the hair gives it away.
That's a lot of changes in 50 years, and of course a lot of changes on the police department, on the force in 27 years.
Quite a bit of changes.
What are some of the things that stick out in your mind as being most?
I think some of the biggest things maybe would be the changes over, and personnel mainly. One chief retiring, another chief coming on.
Right.
I've been through, I think, 3 chiefs, and transitions. Are always difficult, but I think they've gotten better each time. Mm-hmm. The new age technology, a lot of the equipment we're getting is a lot better, and it really helps us a lot.
Right. Who were those 3 chiefs that you've been, obviously your existing one, that's Warren Gall.
Correct. The first chief I worked for would have been J. Stanley Bird.
Okay.
Well, after he retired, we did have another chief, Wayne Player. Mm-hmm. He was temporary for a short period of time. After he left, we had Samuel Kilman, who was previously from Charlotte, North Carolina. He came to stay with us for 5 years. And then after he retired, Warren Gall, who is our current chief.
Has he been the chief? Not to put you on the spot, I'm sorry. Yeah,
I can't remember the exact year, but it was 94 or 95.
Okay, so it's a little more than a decade. So
it's good. Right about 10 years. Yeah.
Wow, it's so fascinating when you think about, and for citizens who are contemplating the Citizens Police Academy, which is really ramped up. Is it September 2000?
September 2000 is when we first started our program, yes.
Right.
And so we've done 2 a year.
And 2 a year, okay.
So we just completed this past March our 14th class.
Golly, so it has really ramped up. A lot of excitement, and you've had big crowds each session or each semester.
Started off a little bit of slowly, not as many applying, but once word got out, how fun it could be, we have had turned people away. Not enough room. Mm-hmm. We accept 25 per class. We've had a few where we've had 27, 28, trying to get that extra 1 or 2 in there, not to turn anybody away, but.
Right.
but we have had to turn people away because we had a lot of applications.
I bet. How is the Citizens Police Academy that kicks off on July 10th, and I think you said runs through August 7th, going to be different than police academies in the past?
Well, first of all, it's the first time we'll be doing one during the summer, during our busy time.
Right.
It'll be every Tuesday for 5 weeks from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m., 8 hours of class, where our normal class is every Monday night just for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And this one is geared more toward the young crowd, high school juniors and seniors, or college students who are interested in law enforcement. And we're just trying to give them a tool to see if it is something they may be interested in as career-wise.
Will you have them mixed with some older residents, or will it just be...
this is just geared for that
age. It's just geared for that age range. Correct. Wow.
Well, if they're a college student in the criminal justice program and they might be a little bit older, I don't think we'll turn them away for that.
Okay, sure. And that would be students. Would that be students if they're residents? Is it just for residents of Myrtle Beach? I mean, I was thinking, would that be students who maybe in college, Georgia, for instance, and are back home for the summer?
Well, mainly locally.
Okay.
We've got applications from Horry Georgetown Technical College, Conway, and Myrtle Beach campus.
Good.
We've got a couple from Coastal Carolina.
Good.
We've got several from Myrtle Beach High School, Socastee, Conway, North Myrtle Beach High School.
Okay, great.
So they're getting around.
And there are a couple of openings still available.
Well, we're going. I can't say we haven't really set a number yet, but we're probably going to be between 25 and 30 that we can accept for size of the class, and we've got well over 40 applications so far.
Is that right? Wow. And the applications are due, is it this Thursday?
This coming Thursday, 5 p.m., they are due.
Okay, great.
The 31st is the cutoff at 5 p.m.
A viewer, obviously, I was about to say if a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, but a lot of folks may be relaxing at home today. If they want to learn more about the program, is there a good phone number to call, Tommy, or maybe even a website?
They can go onto our website, thecityofmyrtlebeach.com, or go to the police department link, and then there's several links. I think our administrative division, training unit, and then there's a citizens link that tells a little bit about our Citizens Academy.
Good.
It's on there, or they can call me directly in my office, which is area code 843-918-1803.
Okay, great.
I also have a cell phone if they're interested in.
Great, yeah.
And that's area code 843-450-3361.
Okay, 450-3361.
That's
is great.
My city cell phone.
And we're at a crunch time now, so folks if they want information, they need to be calling now over the next couple days. Is it a pretty arduous application, Tommy?
No, it's fairly simple, just some basic information, name, address, phone numbers, date of birth, social security number, driver's license number, and then we have a little questionnaire, why are you interested in this? What do you expect to gain? Just simple questions like that. Once we receive the application, I do have to do a background check.
Okay.
Checking for the criminal history, make sure there's nothing major there, and that they do have a active, valid driver's license.
Okay.
Since they will be driving one of our cars.
They will drive a police car?
Absolutely.
One of these students?
We have all kinds of fun teaching, and we just know, we can see it on their faces. They love driving our cars, flipping on those lights and sirens.
I bet. Golly, who wouldn't?
But we'll drive them through one of our actual training courses.
Is that right? Where are those training courses located, Tom?
It's on the former...
Secret? Yeah.
Well, it's not a secret. It's on the former Myrtle Beach Air Force Base.
Right.
We have our training facility out there at 3340 Mustang Street, which is right off of Shine Avenue.
Sure.
And just a few blocks away, we have a parking lot which has been donated to our use that we are able to use, and we set up our course out there.
That's great. I think I know where that is, over there off of UG, or it's on UG.
Well, actually, it's right behind one of our newer city facilities, fire department, and we have
the Department of Revenue. It's a great location.
Exactly.
It is on UG.
We actually have one of our other police department substations in that same building.
I love it. You've got a tremendous location. The Myrtle Beach Air Force Base and the Redevelopment Authority there opened the doors for some great. We've got a guest on this Thursday. Harold Stowe's real active with the Redevelopment Authority. I think the chairman there, and of course to see much of the benefits of the redevelopment out on the former Air Force Base. It's been amazing.
Oh, it has been. It's a very beautiful area. There's a lot of construction going on. A little bit of a hindrance from time to time, noise, but it's a beautiful area. The lakes, the geese, the parks.
Right, that market common
Very
that's
nice.
going up. You're looking out from your offices there on Mustang.
And watching it every day.
Right.
Just amazing how quick they're doing it.
And the police academy, is it down on the main location off of Oak Street, or is it in Mr. Joe White Avenue? Or
Well, for this student session of the academy, all 5 classes that we're holding will be held at our training facility.
okay, on Mustang.
That's correct.
Right. A great location out there.
But on our first meeting, we will take them on a tour of all our city facilities.
Okay, good. It is. What originally prompted, is police academies common in other areas of the country, or is it indicative just of the Myrtle Beach area?
No, it's not indicative of the Myrtle Beach area. It is pretty much. It's not widespread, but it is, pretty much. I think Virginia has several. There's several in the state of South Carolina.
Right.
And, they're all across the country. Mm-hmm. And, it's becoming very popular, and they're growing.
Is this something that anyone else in Horry County or along the Strand is doing? Is there one in, let's say, Georgetown or Horry County Police? Do they do one, or is it principally just the city of Myrtle Beach right now?
As a matter of fact, about a year ago, I was talking with the training officer in Georgetown County, and they have recently started one.
Good.
It's very small right now. They're still in the growing process, but we were trying to help them. Whatever help they wanted, we allowed them to come view our class, and
good.
Hopefully they've got some good pointers, and I think we have a good program.
Absolutely. Tommy, what are some of the differences between the program that non-students would take and the student program this summer, or are they identical?
They will be pretty much identical, some of the classes. The only thing different is, like I said, these classes will be 8-hour classes, and we'll get to go a little bit more in depth. We'll have a little bit more time with them.
You mean the ones with the students this
Right.
summer?
Because
Okay.
our normal class would, on Monday evenings for the regular classes would go from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay.
So we're kind of limited on, content, what we could hold during the classes, and how much we could actually teach them. I mean, we do have some instructors that are great, and they could sit there and talk all night long.
Right.
And the classes love it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But they do have other things they have to do because they're working people, get home, and got to get ready for that business night, business day, whatever. But hopefully with the student classes, we will have 8 hours that we can spend with them. We might have several different courses or classes during that day, but we can spend more time with them and more interaction.
Has the mission at all changed since September 2000 when you all launched the first one, and now 14 graduating classes later? Has it changed much? I mean, have you seen some expansion or some of the things that have been added?
I don't think much has changed.
Right.
Just the changing, different instructors coming and going, different classes, subject matters, and just like we said earlier about some of the newer technology.
Right.
Like our firearms training simulator. We just got that a few years ago, and we're able to use that with them in the classroom now instead of just telling them, what we do with firearms. Mm-hmm. They actually get to experience a live firearm, which is actually decommissioned with a laser, not regular ammo.
Right. This is FATS,
Firearms Training Simulator.
I like it, yeah. That acronym jumped out at me as I was reviewing some of the information.
That is actually one of our most favorite classes that the students have really raved about.
Is that right? Yeah.
And like I say, with the 8-hour classes, we'll be able to spend a lot more time with it.
Right.
We're 2 hours trying to get 25 people through it. You don't have very much time per person, so it really cuts into it. But this time around with this class, we'll have a lot more time to spend with it, and hopefully gets a lot more enjoyment. Not to take away from the other 2 classes,
sure.
But it's something that we really want to show them.
Absolutely.
We think it's very important.
Showcase. So you'll have students ages what to what?
Generally, I would say 17 through early mid-20s.
Right. And already 40 applications in, and expecting more over the next 72 hours.
As a matter of fact, I got one in this morning from a high school, so I think that gives me 45.
Okay. Golly, Tommy, that is exciting.
It is for me.
Very exciting.
I really enjoy the time I spent with them.
And as the coordinator, now you're interfacing, as you said, with all the instructors. How many instructors are actively involved in the program, and do the instructors change?
Yes, they do change, year to year. I work mainly with the training unit, so that's one of my main responsibilities with the police department is the training. So I have actually 5 instructors. Well, there's 6 instructors in the training unit that are full-time instructors. But we have like regular patrol officers who are also trained instructors. We have I didn't look at an exact number, but I'd say we have well over 30 instructors throughout the entire department.
Is that right?
Who
Great.
give of their own time to come to the citizens classes to teach the students.
That is tremendous. And so, of course, you said, again, this session being a little different than the usual ones in the non-summertime, 5 sessions of 8 hours each, so
right.
a good total of 40 hours.
Right.
And during the normal the past 14 sessions you've had, or graduating class you've had, those normally go
2 hours for 10 weeks, so you're
okay.
talking 20 hours versus 40 hours for the students.
That's fascinating. You've really made the commitment not only to double the time, and of course the folks who are doing it within the police department are really giving it their time to make this enjoyable.
Yes, they do.
And informative for the students, I'm sure.
That's correct. I've not had an instructor that's been in one of the classes yet that has gone away unhappy. Everyone has thoroughly enjoyed their job.
That is
they love doing what they do.
Yeah, Tommy. Break down a typical, of course, since this kicks off on July 10th, you can't say with the new session of 8-hour days what a typical day is going to be like. But let's talk about this last semester of the Citizens Police Academy. What was a typical night like, or maybe you can break out the course of those 10 weeks?
Basically, well, we do have a set curriculum. Each night is a different class. So, well, the first night is actually the meet and greet.
Okay.
Where they get to come into our police department, and our chief will speak to them, the captain of the administrative division, who is my boss.
Right.
And my lieutenant occasionally, he comes into them and speaks to the class. And we have a person from the prior class, usually the class representative, class speaker, comes back and tells them, what they had to look forward to and how much fun they're going to have. Usually when I go back to this prior class and looking for volunteers to come back, everybody's raising their hand, jumping in. I want to do it, because everybody has so much fun.
That is tremendous.
And so they'll come in and they'll speak for a few minutes and tell them, some of the things that they did and what they've got to look forward to. And the one common phrase that everybody says at the end of 10 weeks, you're not going to know what to do with yourself on Monday nights. Mm-hmm. You're going to be bored after having so much fun for 10 weeks, and now you got nothing to do.
And this is serious stuff. And when you're talking about fun, you're still talking about a very serious nature here.
Absolutely. It's a very serious nature job.
Serious type of fun.
We have fun with it. And we try our best to give them, a good time and show them fun. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But they also, through the course, they're required to do ride-along time with our patrol officers, also with our dispatch and jail units, and beach patrol, traffic units, so forth like that. So they get to actually get out on the street and see what's going on with our officers and interact with them and see exactly what it is they do every day.
And is that part of the 20 hours, Tommy, or that's in addition to the 20 hours?
That's in addition to it.
Okay, sure.
And that will be the same for our student class, but they won't have nearly as many hours since they're only 5 weeks instead of 10 weeks.
Sure.
But they will still be required to do that, also attend the court session.
So the hours actually may even up when you add the 20 plus the amount of time that...
During our normal class, they are required a minimum of 25 hours or a maximum 35 hours ride-along time.
Is that right? A minimum of 25 hours, and that includes the time in the jail and the dispatcher?
Yes,
okay.
That's correct. All that, 5 hours per shift.
Right.
And we have 5 different shifts, or 4 different shift hours, and then we have the dispatch. So that counts as a fifth. So
that would potentially, there's potentially only a handful of folks locally who may be able to give up that amount of time. But are you still seeking applications for the fall session?
Well, in the fall session, we'll probably be starting getting our applications or accepting applications in early July.
Okay, sure. But it's essentially the same kind of application that the students are filling out right now.
Exactly the same.
Okay. Are the applications online?
You can get the application online. You can pick one up at either of our facilities, our main police department at 1101 Oak Street, or our training unit at 3340 Mustang. Okay.
And again, your number, if a viewer wanted to call now, doesn't know exactly where either of those locations are, if they're new to the area, but you have to be a citizen of the city of Myrtle Beach.
When we first started, we had it for citizens who live within the city of Myrtle Beach or worked within the city of Myrtle Beach.
Okay, good.
But we have, in the past couple of years, opened it up to anybody within the county. But we do give first preference to those who live and work within the city.
Good.
But we also allow, we've had some from Georgetown, Georgetown County area come in.
Right.
We've had people who reside in Conway, North Myrtle Beach.
Good.
We've had a wide variety, of area people come through our class.
And part of the goals here are to introduce citizens to the profession with thoughts that maybe they would think of joining the profession, or it's just to make sure they have a better understanding?
When it was first started, it was more of like a community policing. Get to know the community, get the community to know the police. And we're hoping with this session, the student session, we're going to add to that and introduce them to those who are already interested into the profession, and see, is this really what I want to do with my life? And hopefully open their eyes a little bit and say, yes, come to work with us.
Have you had any journalists that have taken the class, Tommy?
We have had a few, yes.
I know Charlene Zwing, one of our social columnists, very active, took the class, I believe, early on and enjoyed it. I believe I'm correct on that.
Well, one other I can remember was, Angela Nicholas. I don't know if you remember her.
Love Angela.
I believe she was
with the Red Cross now. Yeah,
she's with the Red Cross now, but she used to be with the Murray.
She was head of the neighbors section. Unfortunately, not with us. She was with the Sun News. But
I thought it was with the Herald.
She was with the Silva Herald up. So she has had some experience in Herald, but she was with the Sun News and did a great job, and now runs the Red Cross locally, and is doing even more exciting
very
job.
Sweet lady. I thought the world over.
She really is.
We've had a couple college professors doing research take her class.
I bet.
Well, one class we had a husband take the class. 2 classes later, his wife took the class.
Oh, good. I bet you're going to see that.
We've had husband and wife attend together. We've had one attend the class and love it so much they had to get their spouse into the next one. One friend tells another friend, and they recruit them for us.
Sure.
We've had good response to it.
How long have you been the coordinator for the Citizens Police Academy, Tommy?
Well, I actually started with a training unit in June of 2003.
Okay.
So my first, coordination or first actual interaction with the Citizens Police Academy was that following September when I had to put that first class on.
Right.
September 2003 was my first one.
And what are some of the other things you've done in the department over the last 27 years?
Well, I have
everything. Worn a lot of hats.
I have pretty much worked every division that there is in the department.
Is that right?
When I first started in 1980, I was hired as a patrol officer, but I mainly worked jail dispatch until I got my academy date and went through and graduated the academy. And once I graduated academy, I worked patrol division for about 5 years. Then I was transferred to investigations, and I worked there till about the summer of '94. I went back out to patrol and worked my way up through the ranks, being promoted to corporal and now sergeant. And in 2001, right after, I believe it was in October 2001, I went back to investigations as a sergeant. Spent a couple years in there before I transferred over to the training unit in 2003.
So you've seen a little bit of everything.
I have seen a little bit of every division. A lot of investigations and patrol where I spent the majority of my career.
Is there something you really, when you think about that, you think about your father's involvement there as a police officer, and you think back about the experiences for you, what really gave you that drive to the willingness to join the police department and commit your life to really protecting and serving others?
Well, that's actually a tough question. I'm not really, certain what actually got my mind leaning towards that as what I wanted to do, but I remember growing up as a child, rarely did I ever get to see my father, especially during the summer. And I just told myself as I was younger, that's something I'll never do. I want when I grow up and have kids, I want them to be able to see me and spend time with me. But as I got older, the old saying, the older I get, the smarter my father was. And I actually believe that, and I try to live that myself. And I really respected what he did once I, had a couple friends on the police department and saw what they were doing. A couple of them talked to me and, tried to encourage me, hey, this is something you might really want to look into. And one of the fellows actually came to me, brought me an application. I turned it back in, and I was hired within a month.
Wow.
And I've, have thoroughly loved my job ever since. Time or two I get disappointed when things don't go right.
Right.
But, that's the nature of the beast. With every good thing, there's something bad that follows. Right. But then you just pick yourself up and move on and make it good again.
Those are great words. Tommy, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Well, it was a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Sergeant Tommy Chestnut coming up next. You got to write down these 2 numbers. Write them down. Actually, I'm about to forget them. 450-3361. 450-3361 or 1803. Tommy Chestnut's given both his direct line in the office plus his mobile phone. He wants it to be a tremendous turnout. We've already got 45 applications for 25 to 30 slots for the Citizens Police Academy, the first one of its kind that actually opens the doors for students, local students, to be a part of it. Applications are due this Thursday at 5. Close of business this Thursday. They're available a couple of different ways. You can either go to either of the locations, the 1101 Oak Street location in the city of Myrtle Beach, or you can go to the 3340 Mustang Street, something close to that, on the former Myrtle Beach Air Force Base. Either of those, you can pick them up, and you got to get them filled out quick because they're due this Thursday at 5. You can also go online to the cityofmyrtlebeach.com, click on police, then there's a location on site there for Citizens Police Academy. Of course, you can fill out the application and then get it turned in. In addition, if you call Tommy, he will email you the application. They want folks to be involved. You heard him talking about the excitement of getting students involved and the tremendous success the last 14 sessions that have been graduated over the last 6+ years now. The excitement's coming up. Tommy talks about it as fun. You didn't think you'd wake up on Memorial Day and be hearing about FATS, the firearm training simulator or simulation. Obviously, I sure didn't expect to be here hearing about that, but the excitement is real, and it is exciting. Take the time to learn more about the City of Myrtle Beach Citizens Police Academy.